Welcome to the Christian Success Show, the show that helps you achieve more success in every area of your life. I'm your host, Wes Young. Thank you for joining me today. The Christian Success Show is brought to you by Christian-Success.com. Visit Christian-Success.com to join the community and check out the special $7 deals designed to help you achieve big success in specific areas of your life. If you want personal help achieving more success, you can find out how to work with the top Christian life, success, and business coach and consultant at Christian-Success.com/coach. Now, let's get started with today's show. Today's show is Don't Put God on the Back Burner when you achieve success. By nature, humans, and I'm talking about individuals and also as a collective, by nature, humans struggle with prosperity. Everyone wants more prosperity. They want more success, more money, more security, more freedom. But when humans get more prosperity, more success, more finances, more monetary success, more freedom, they struggle with it. And what I mean is that it can lead to unintended consequences or bad things or poor things happening. And we're going to talk some about that and also how to avoid letting this affect you in a negative way on today's show. People tend to turn to God in tough times, and then they turn away from God in good times. This isn't everyone. There are plenty of dedicated Christians who never turn away from God, but there's a lot of people that will turn to God when things are going bad or when they're facing a rough patch in their life, and they'll start praying more and maybe start going to church more and reading the Bible more, and they'll lean on God to help get them through whatever this tough time is or this down time is. And then when things start getting better, they'll start praying less, they'll go to church less, they'll study the Bible less. And this, like I said, this is not only individuals, this is also collectively people as a whole. So it's important that you understand first that this is possible and this does happen. And if you start paying attention, you can see this in all areas of the world. You can see people turning to God when times are tough, and you can see them turning away from God or forgetting about God as much when times are good, during times of prosperity. You need to first be aware of this and make sure that this is not something that happens to you. Even if you don't mean for it to happen, it can happen to individuals. And then you need to be aware that this happens as a whole. If you study in the Bible, particularly in the Old Testament, God's chosen people would follow God and prosper, and then they would turn away from God, and they'd get in trouble, they'd be taken into captivity, and they'd be held in captivity until they cried out to God and turned back to Him, and He'd bring them out of captivity, and they'd prosper again. Things really haven't changed that much in the thousands of years since the Old Testament happened. So, this tells us that we need to make sure that we never turn away from God. We need to stay with God, be thankful, praise, pray, etc. in the good times and the bad times. But particularly, remember to do these things in the good times. In the U.S., after the 9/11 terrorist attacks, churches were full and we had prayer in school. You know, we don't have prayer in schools in the U.S. right now because some of the political pressures, the ACLU, things like that, have basically put a stop to it. But when we faced the terrorist attacks on 9/11, these groups didn't step up and try to stop prayers in school right afterwards because they knew that they couldn't succeed at that time. But it didn't take very long. A couple months later, people weren't going to church again. We didn't have prayer in school anymore, things like that. And this is not a political discussion. That's not what I mean by this. But what I'm trying to point out is, when we had the terrorist attacks on 9/11, there were a lot of fear, and people were upset. We were afraid of what might happen. They attacked us here on U.S. soil. And this changed how people looked at a lot of things. So a lot of people turned to God because this was a tough time. And then they quickly fell away later. In general, if you look at the prosperity of the United States in comparison to most other countries, we are still a prosperous country. But we're also, as a country, turning farther and farther away from God. So this is a very dangerous thing. We have to be very careful. And this starts with each of us individually. We need to remember to keep God in our lives and turn to God in the good times, just like we do in the bad. God helps you with success, but He also allows you to achieve success. So we always need to be thankful for God and to turn to Him, because He can help you with success, but He also allows you to be in a position where you can have success. He allows you the choices that you make that can bring you closer to success or push you farther away from success. You need to thank God for what you have and your success every single day, no matter what's going on, whether it's a good time or a bad time. You need to be thankful every single day so that you don't put God on the back burner, even when you achieve success or even when you're in prosperity and things are going well. You can't ever believe that your success is 100% self-achieved. You can't achieve success by yourself. You need help. You need help from others. And when you get God on your side, it's a lot easier to achieve success. It's not always easy. You still have to put in the work. But you can't believe that your success is 100% self-achieved. Because when you start believing that, then you start thinking that you don't need others to help you with success and that you don't need God involved with your success. And this is a very dangerous thought process, a very dangerous place to be. Never forget the difference between worldly success and the ultimate promise made by Jesus about Christianity. There's a difference between being successful in worldly things and living eternity in heaven. So the ultimate success promised in the Bible, if you live a Christian life and follow Jesus, is eternity in heaven instead of an eternity in hell. So never forget the difference between worldly success and heaven. Now, this doesn't mean that you shouldn't work towards worldly success. You should work towards being a success while you're on earth. You should strive for success to better yourself and better those around you and be a better success for your family and for your loved ones. But always keep in mind the difference between worldly success and heaven. Everything can be taken from you at any time. Now, this is a sobering thought, and this is something that most people try not to think about because it's scary. But it's the truth. Everything can be taken from you at any time. And that's why you don't ever put God on the back burner, even when you achieve success or during times of prosperity. If success pulls you away from God, it's not worth the price. But the good news is you can live for God and achieve success. But you have to be careful, because the more success you achieve, the finer the line becomes. It's easy to put God on the back burner when you achieve success. But you can do both. You can live for God and achieve success. And this needs to be your goal, to do both of these things. Continue to live for God. Continue to focus on God. Continue to turn to God and to pray even while you're achieving success. Create a daily habit of prayer and being thankful, no matter what your current situation or results are. When you create a daily habit of prayer and being thankful, then you can continue it more easily when you're having more success and through times of prosperity. Live for God before and after you're successful, because you're running the race here on earth. You're running the earthly race and the worldly race. But the race is so you can spend eternity in heaven. So you need to keep this in the front of your mind and make sure this is your focus. When you achieve success, help others in any way you can. Help them learn how to achieve more success. Show them how God is working in your life. This is the way to make sure you don't put God on the back burner when you achieve success. I want to sincerely thank you for joining me today. I know that you have plenty of options on how you spend your time, and it's an honor you're letting me help you achieve more success in your life. God bless you. Don't forget to check out the special $7 deals designed to help you achieve more success in specific areas of your life at Christian-success.com. If you want personal help achieving more success, you can find out how to work with the top Christian life, success, and business coach and consultant at Christian-success.com/coach. Have a blessed day.